Good afternoon. I'm Jackie Leva, and I'm going to be talking to you guys about the benefits of illegal hits and the not so benefits of illegal hits. So I got the actual definition of how an illegal hit what an illegal hit is, and it's when a tackling passer who is in a defensive posture. A defense player must not necessarily or violently throw down or land on top of the player, and instead of launching towards the player, he must just wrap himself around. And they also stated that using the head, forearm, or shoulder to deliver the initial hit against a defensive-less player will draw significant discipline. And here's an example of a bad hit. And a definition of a good tackle is shoulder to chest hit, no launching, and no head or neck impact. And there's an example of a proper tackle. And it's been stated that there's been over 100 concussions reported each season, and most common injury would be any brain trauma or cervical injuries, and paralysis is a big issue too. And people who suffer most from these illegal hits are the people who receive the tackle, but people who give the tackle can also be injured. So not only is that person risking the life of another person, but their own. And this picture tells me that even though players are wearing protective helmets and equipment, they are still at risk to get injured. And like this picture is a brain, which it's such a sensitive organ, it can easily be injured no matter what the cause is. And not only can they injure their brain or cervical or like paralysis, but they can also get other injuries. And this is an example of Joe Mays from Denver Broncos made an illegal hit to quarterback Matt Squab, and he's from the Houston Texans, and it resulted in him missing a piece of his ear because when Joe Mays tackled the quarterback, his helmet flew off and it just chipped a piece of his ear off, so now he has a little chunk missing. And the negatives on illegal hits can result in punishment to the player by giving him a fine or suspending him for a few games. And not only is the player punished, but also the team. It can mean the team can be pushed back a couple yards if it's in football. If it's in soccer or lacrosse, they can play with the player down. Or if it's in basketball, they would let the other team go into free throws and allow them to get possible points. But the benefits on illegal hits is like in hockey, they protect their teammates, they get in fights for their teammates, and it makes the game more interesting. Like fans go to hockey games and they expect a fight. If you go to a hockey game and don't see a fight, it's disappointing, and they'll probably say it's not a real game. And it brings in money. A lot of fans go to the games because they want to see the fight, and that's sad, but it's true. And athletes aren't getting paid to not play hard. Athletes are getting paid to train hard and play as hard as they could. So why would you go lightly on a game? I mean, accidents happen, but that's what they're paid to do. And my opinion is that illegal hits are bad and they're not beneficial, especially in the NFL. But the way to improve on illegal hits is possibly by making short-term goals rather than long-term goals. Maybe changing one rule at a time and letting everybody else adapt, like all the fans, coaches, players. If they adapt to one step at a time, then maybe they can get to that long-term goal and adjust to playing more safe. And I actually got the video clip of the injury. So it happens really fast, but they're gonna do a replay. And you can see it was helmet to helmet injury or hit, and that is not allowed at all. And you can see he's suffering, he's not getting back up, he's holding his head. And yeah, so thank you. Are there any questions? Have a nice day.
Okay.